You guys ready for another adventure? Because we are taking you to one of the coolest roads in Colorado. This road leads to the largest flat top mountain in the world, but the main purpose of this video is to show you the triangle, which is this loop that I do, which is beautiful. And yeah, let's go. We're gonna show you everything. All right, so this road is just full of curves, curves. And that's what I love about it. It's long, sweeping curves. And it's very different from like sharp, turns or very long straights. These long sweeps, they just allow you to kind of practice some of your driving, and also lets you get an idea of how the car actually handles certain like movements. Like you get an idea of the suspension, and it's super neat. So the cool thing about this road right here is that to the right of us is literally like a creek/river, and it runs to the right of us the entire way. So it's almost hard not to feel like super amazing, because you're carving through these canyons, and there's just these sceneries and the river and everything, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And I love this road. Now we do a triangle because it literally has different types of drives all in like a 30-mile radius, and it just becomes absolutely amazing. Let me show you some of this stuff right here. This is just so cool. And look at that wall next to us, just the rocks. And then when you look on top, look at that rock up there just sitting on top. Super beautiful. And the road quality is perfect. Right now it's spring, so there's no salt. The roads are nice, and the views are just great. And there's something about water that I just love. I love seeing streams. I love rivers. It's just something I've always loved. And it's actually one of my biggest dreams, is to have a house with like a little stream running through it. It's just so beautiful. And this area is absolutely gorgeous. And this entire like drive is so neat, because the drive is cool, but then if you keep going, you go to the largest flat top mountain in the world. And what that is that it's a mountain, and instead of it having a peak, kind of a pointy peak on top, it's just flat. So the mountain is flat, but it's humongous, and there's like rivers and there's lakes and there's all kinds of stuff, and people go up there and they ski and they snowboard and they hunt. It's just a really popular like spot. But for me as a car guy, driver's therapy, it's all about the road here. And the road up to the flat top mountain is about, I would say about 75% solid. When you get to the mountain up there, it gets definitely sketchy as far as the road. Not scariness, but like the road has potholes and it's uneven. And the reason why is because it snows up there, and whenever an area gets a lot of snow, the roads get beat up. And so I like this portion of the drive because it's just absolutely beautiful. And look at that little log house, guys. I think it's a log house or wood house. They have like a little stream next to them, which I think is super cool. And this is what it's about, guys. Literally one of the coolest drives ever. You just get views, turns, and this is what this is about. And driver's therapy is literally what it sounds like. We're out here driving in some beautiful roads, and that 3.8 engine just sounds amazing. this goes on for a couple of miles. I'll put how many miles this goes on, and then the reason why this whole entire course is a triangle is because we're going to be taking a left in soon. Come up to the turn, downshift, let the car kind of track out a little bit, tiny bit of straight, off the throttle, tiny bit, not too fast, then we're back on. Beautiful. And perfect temperature, guys, perfect temperature. And now we're gonna be taking a left and everything's gonna change. The turns are gonna be tighter. It's definitely, the roads are gonna be slightly rougher, but they're still drivable. So we're gonna take a left here. And look at that sign, next 9 miles squiggly. So look at this, cattle guard. Have you guys ever seen a cattle guard? Look at, it's just a bunch of metal little things so the little cattle don't go. So this part's kind of cool too, because like it's a whole different feeling. Like the corners are tighter. The road's a little uneven, but like I said, it's still drivable, if that makes sense. So you've got tighter turns. Look at that little weird looking rock right there. This whole area is real trippy. So it's pretty empty for a while, and then like you see some houses, but again, a lot of fun with the tight turns, definitely different from the long sweeps. Mile 1, and very, very, very different feeling, because again, you're kind of like more deserty here versus when you're going up the mountain, everything starts turning green, and this is more like that red rock and the yellow rock. And when you see little areas like this, somebody punched through the rock to make this road. Now look at this, guys. Look at this turn right here. This is so cool. You just come down, then you pop it into second, you know, move a little with the turn, feel those curves, and nice sweep. And then you got another nice little sweep right here. You go down, woo, you get that roller coaster feeling. Really, really neat. A little bit of gas. Oh man, that's just nice. Now, I don't really like to push it too hard here because there's houses and stuff like that. And it's kind of wild because, you know, these houses, some people can say they're in the middle of nowhere, but you know, they're not far from where we live, and we live in a decent sized town / city. So they're about like 30 minutes from town, and really places like that are out here, you know, they're not incredibly expensive. And I think people forget that you could find some cool places, you know, when you're out, you know, kind of out like in places like this. So a lot of people don't know that property on the west coast of America it's tricky, like when you buy it. And what I mean by that is, if you buy property, you need to make sure that you have water. Water is a humongous issue that a lot of the people in the East Coast have no idea about, which is fair because they don't live here. But the problem is that there's not enough water. So if you buy a house or a property, you know, if you want to grow some plants or anything like that, or some crops, or just have some water for, you know, your lawn or whatever, or have some water, drinking water, you know, like if your property doesn't have water rights, you know, it's truly not going to be as valuable and as desired versus a house that has water rights. And if you look around here, it's just dry, and it's really dry out here. And where you saw the river that was coming from the flat top mountain, like you could see places here where there's supposed to be water, but there's not. Like it's dry. And that's what you see a lot around the west coast and the west side of the country. And that's just normal. It's just part of this like geography. It's part of this terrain, and it's something that people have known ever since like the first settlers of America, is that if you don't have water, you know, you don't have life. So you've always got to take that into consideration. Now the roads have gotten, like if you see these little squiggly lines, they're kind of like chip seal repair, and they're fixing the cracks and stuff like that. It's good for the road, but when you're driving, it's kind of like you feel it a little bit, so it's not as smooth. So I'm not going as fast here because it just really isn't as fun because of these little chip seal areas. I don't know if you guys can see those balls up there, but power lines like that have taken out more helicopters than people realize, and that's why those balls are up there, mostly for helicopters. And yeah, it's just when you're flying, you probably can't see those lines, and a lot of people don't realize that those are huge hazards when you're flying a helicopter. So some things that we forget, because day-to-day life, is we forget that all of this that you see, you know, was underwater. And so all the way that everything's cut out and how it's shaped is because at one point in time, all of this was underwater. And as it dried up, this is what you saw. So this was at one point in time, like, you know, the floor of some ocean. And this is the remnants of it. All right, so it looks like we cleared those little squiggly black like chip seal things, and we're back to driving. And those were about 3 miles, so they were a big chunk of this drive. But now, you know, we go back to doing a little bit of fun driving here. They're still around, but they're a lot less. And then the last part of this triangle is we're entering Beque, and a small little quaint town. And then we're going to be taking a left. All right, we decided to take a quick detour to the Beque's country store, and we're getting some sandwiches, and we are sitting out here, and it's gonna be awesome. And I got me a Philly sandwich, and Elise got herself a Reuben. Hers looks really good. And our view is super nice. We can see like the mountains. This is a really nice small town. Really liking the atmosphere. All right, guys, that was such a cool experience. That little town literally had the American spirit. They were such nice people, and our food was great. Elise loved her Reuben, and yeah, that was a great detour. So now we're gonna do the last leg of the triangle, and this is gonna be really cool, guys. You guys are really gonna like it, especially because the views and the driving. And the crazy thing is, this last part of the triangle is like the stuff that everyone kind of goes through if you drive through Colorado, because it's literally on I-70. All right, and this is our last leg of the triangle drive. And if you look, we have the Colorado River to the right of us, and this is the biggest road in Colorado. It's I-70, Interstate I-70, where a lot of people have driven. You've probably driven through here, but it's a really actually fun road to drive. You got a lot of long curves, and it's beautiful scenery, and it completes the triangle because you just did all that driving, and then as you're heading back, well, when I'm heading back home to Grand Junction, you still get some more drive, which is really neat, and the views are just beautiful. And the best part is we've got a tunnel. Let's do it. Woo! All right, guys. And this is the triangle. Thank you for tuning in. This was totally fun and an awesome drive. Definitely one of those great days, and loved it. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hit that like button, and we will see you for the next DT adventure.